Everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. Please do forgive me in advance. I have a really bad cold, but and a cough, but I felt like I needed to do this today. I really had much time to um, get this done, so bear with me. But today I wanted to do. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, there's this really good YouTube channel called Spectrum, where they ask all different walks of life, different questions, and whether they agree or disagree, strongly disagree, strongly agree. And I watched Spectrum thanks to my older brother. Thank you. And there was an episode with people with disabilities, and they asked them some questions. I thought I would like to answer my own question, answer the same question, and put my opinion on the spectrum questions, because some of the things that people with disability were saying, I agreed and I disagreed, and I felt like this video would be on the spectrum questions. Okay, so let's begin. So the first question is, I'm offended by the word disabled. I wouldn't say I'm offended. So I would say disagree, or somewhat agree, disagree. The reason behind it is that I prefer the word disabled or disability than special needs or something like that. I feel like it's a form of identification. Sometimes I say visual impairment because my disability is my visual, so it's a form of identification. It's a form of just, letting people know, really. So this is gonna be long. So it's a form of identification. So I don't agree with me being offended, unless someone use it as an offense, then I become offended. But until then, I'm not offended. Next question. This country provides enough for the disabled community. I agree. Especially recently, I won't strongly agree, but I agree. Recently, I feel like this community, as in this UK, has provided somewhat resources, especially in the few years, because I remember growing up, it was very difficult with my disability. Even though I was in a private school, it was difficult for resources like large print, like travel to and from school, extra time and exams I didn't have when I was growing up. When I had an exam, I had to stay in a class of everyone, which was difficult because I'm sensitive to light. So growing up was very difficult, the resources. Like, I didn't have any support. Whereas recently, when I was in uni, both times, and when now I'm currently working full time. With uni, I would say there was more resources and they were more helpful. I had extra time. I had a scribe. I had transport to and from school. I had extra time. I could go in a different class on my own to do my exam. And obviously somebody would watch me. Um, with work, I'm currently working full time. I've been there for 2 years now. There is resources there. Currently in work, there's a bit of a minor blip, but I would say overall there are resources nowadays. There could be more, but I've noticed that there's a lot more charities, there's a lot more people that are here to help. So I would say I agree. There is resources, but there is always room for more, isn't there? So um, 3, most people are ignorant about my disability. I strongly agree with this one. Again, because my disability is my visual, and most of the time when I'm outside, I wear sunglasses. So people are oblivious to my disability until I say I have a visual impairment. And if I do say I have a visual impairment, they don't believe me anyway. So they'll be like, okay, like, we don't believe you. So, to my disability, there are quite a lot of ignorance, and they don't believe what I say. And because I carry myself well enough, I think. So, I mean, I do have friends and family that support me who are not ignorant. They are a blessing. But there has been people around me in work that are a bit ignorant to my disability, or they try to question my disability and how bad it is, or if I make a request on certain things, it's seen as are you sure that you need that? Why don't you have this instead? And I'm like, yeah. So that is a bit, yeah. I strongly agree with this one. I appreciate when people try and offer me help. I do. I agree. I do appreciate it, because not a lot of people would offer me help, because not a lot of people would know unless I say, or unless I take off my sunglasses and we're having a conversation and my eyes start to wander, or anything like that, because I have the shaking of the eye and this eye starts to wander sometimes, especially when it's tired. So I genuinely normally ask for help. So, and if I do, most of the time people are willing to help. So I kind of let them know, especially, for example, if I'm taking the underground in London and I'm trying to see what line it is and which stop, I would just ask quickly, like, excuse me, I've got vision impairment, can you let me know what this is? And generally, most of the time, yeah, it's okay. I haven't really had an experience when I've been denied help, but there are also times when I do ask for help and people look at me like, are you sure? Dying? Okay. So, yeah. But I agree. It's always good to be helped, but then not patronized, or like people put their own opinions onto the help that they're offering. So if I ask for help and be like, but why don't you do this instead? I'm like, can you just help me with this one, you know? So yeah. Next one. Dating is difficult. I don't, for me, I don't think dating is difficult for me. Um, so I kind of disagree because I've been on dates and I have been dating. Currently single, but obviously I have my daughter, so it hasn't been difficult. But I would say that maybe I've dated a certain type of men, and not men that I would like to be with. Okay, I'll try and explain. I feel like I accept the men in my life that are not generally what I want and what I feel. I just feel like I date what I think I deserve, and it sounds a bit sad, but I feel like because of my disability, the type of men that I would want would not want me. So I would generally go for the ones that want me, instead of the ones that I would rather go for, because I feel like I don't feel like I meet their criteria, or like I'm not good enough for them. But it turns out that the ones that I feel like want me have been have been the worst. I've had experiences where I've been taken advantage of, pretty much, growing up and dating and stuff. Um, because they know that I have a disability and how far I can see and whatnot, I have been in a place where I've been taken advantage of, and you know, and yeah, and most of the time it's they would walk out, especially when it's in the summertime, and they just walked out when I needed them, kind of thing. And there was one time when I didn't have my sunglasses, and one of the person that I was dating with just kind of walked out, and he knew that I needed them like critically in that moment, so I had to kind of walk around and find someone to help me, kind of thing. So but yeah, sorry. um so I feel like I haven't really dated who I wanted, and I just date who I think that I deserve. But so in the end, it just doesn't work out, because so yeah. I don't want to get upset, but just I wouldn't say it's difficult dating, but I think it's difficult for me to accept that, despite my disability, I'm okay, I guess. You know, what do you think? I'm okay. But so I just need to understand that I am okay. And yeah, that I should just date who I feel like I want to, and not what I think I deserve, which to me I feel like it's not enough. Um so I disagree. Dating is not difficult, but I just, in a sense, it's difficult for me, like in me, but it hasn't been difficult to date, you know. Anyway, next one. I have felt like a burden. I think I'm gonna get upset with this one. I I strongly agree. I've already started. Not because my family thinks or friends thinks that I'm a burden, But um, I feel like with my daughter and um, I feel like I am a burden, especially to my daughter, especially when she grows up, because obviously, even now, at the age of nearly 6, um, I feel like obviously there's certain things I'm not able to do, and it would mean that um, she would have to help me, and there's certain places I can't go, and there's certain things I wouldn't be able to do with her that she may like to do, and so that makes me feel like I'm a burden. Growing up, I never felt it, but like just thinking back to, uni and school and how much like my mum um, invested in me, and my younger brother also has a visual impairment, so it's like, and there's 4 of us. So, and my mum was a single parent most of her life, so it was like I felt like a burden. So I always wanted my independence. I always wanted, that's why I left quite young to go to uni. I went to Plymouth, which is like 6 hours away. Then after uni, I came to Hertfordshire and did my second degree here. And I just didn't want to be near my family to feel like I'm a burden, but I do feel like I am. I think mainly to myself. I think I'm a burden to myself because I feel like, especially the biggest one that upsets me the most is that I'm not able to drive. So then I've always had issues with people that I'm dating who I would, if I ask to be driven, it could be an issue. And I just, in that moment when it's an issue, I feel like if I could do it myself, if I could do things myself, I wouldn't ask for someone to tell me, like, oh my God, you know. Um, so yeah, sorry guys, I'm a bit teary eyed. But yeah, I do feel like a burden, and especially to myself. And I feel like um, I need to punish myself less because I feel like I've achieved what anybody else could achieve. Um, I do have my daughter, and she is amazing. And I feel like I've done well, and I'm doing well, and I'm doing the best that I can. Um, I do work full time. I do have 2 university degrees. Um, I feel like I'm okay. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. But at the same time, um, yeah, it's been difficult. But sorry. Um, but yeah, I strongly agree with this one. um, I would change my disability. Strongly agree. Even though I've achieved everything with my disability, if I could change it and not have a disability, I would. I would take it so that I could drive a car and take my daughter everywhere. Um, so I can see colours and appreciate the world a little bit better. Um, so I don't get offended or sensitive when it's too much light and then there's certain places I'm not able to go. Um, so that I don't get migraines all the time. So that, the list continues. So if I could change it and not have one, I would. But if I could change it and have another one, then I'll just stick to what I have. Um, but if I could change it and not have a disability, I would 100%. But I know that because of my disability, I have this drive, and obviously I wouldn't be doing this channel. So in a way, like, you know, but in general, I would change it. And the last one, I am living a fulfilled life. I disagree. I don't feel like I'm living a fulfilled life. I feel like I'm living a life that is just what it is. Growing up, I studied travel and tourism, and then in my first degree, I did cruise management. I said I wanted to work on a cruise ship, or be a flight attendant, or something to do with traveling, because I enjoyed it. But I didn't pass the medical to work on a cruise ship or be a flight attendant. And now it's like, instead of doing a career that I love, I have to do a career that I can do. And it doesn't make me feel like I'm fulfilled. It feels like it is what it is. And I'm still trying to find a career that I love. Currently what I'm doing is okay. I love my company, but what I'm actually doing is okay, you know. But because my company is international, I'm kind of in conversation with my manager to kind of change what I'm doing and do something else. But yeah, again, I don't want to get upset. But you know when you feel like there's so much more that I could do. Like I could do so much more. But I think in a way I have achieved a lot. So it's fulfilled. I have my daughter and she fulfills me all the time. I mean, she's so demanding. Like, she, um, but yeah, I feel like I could do so much more, but in the end, it is what it is. I'm grateful. I am happy to be where I am. I'm happy to do what I've done. I'm grateful that I've achieved what I've achieved, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But the question is if I feel like I'm living a fulfilled life, and I feel like not really, no, but I'm living my best life that I could live right now. And each day I'm starting to know myself more and what I can tolerate and what I want and what I don't want. So I disagree, but there's always room to change, right? There's always room to live my fulfilled life. So it's not the end of the world. You just keep going and you just keep pushing yourself and you just keep figuring yourself out. So I'm not like upset like I am the way I am. I appreciate who I am, and I'm just as feisty and whatever as ever. And I love being a parent with a disability. It has its challenges, but I love it. And I love my daughter, and I love my family, my friends, and my work colleagues. And, you know, it is what it is. And I apologize that it's a long video, but I just wanted to answer the spectral questions because I felt like, you know, what would I say if I was standing on the line, the spectrum line and stuff. So I would leave you guys here. I hope you like my video. I do apologise for being really upset earlier. Um, but yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Bye.